Just an hour before my sister-in-law's wedding, I went into labor. My mother-in-law, of all people, took my phone and locked me in the bathroom, telling me to hold off for a while to avoid stealing my sister-in-law's spotlight on her big day. A few hours later, I woke up in the hospital, and my mother-in-law was begging me not to press charges. But the look on her face turned pale when my husband, Rick, announced that our daughter, May, had been born. Rick and I, both in our 30s, had just become parents to our first child, and while it was an exciting time, we were still adjusting to the chaos of parenthood. I wouldn't have made it through May's traumatic birth without Rick's help, and to this day, I can't shake the overwhelming fear I felt. It was a harrowing experience, but since it involved family, I'm torn on how to proceed. Hormones and new motherhood are clouding my judgment, so I'm turning to Reddit for advice. Here's the background. Rick has two younger sisters, Anna, 28, and Emma, 24. We get along well, but we're not particularly close due to busy careers and living in different cities. I'm also not close to Rick's mother, Rachel, 53, who's a notorious control freak. She raised Rick and his siblings after their father abandoned them, and they try to appease her as best as they can. Rachel doesn't take kindly to anyone disagreeing with her. Her reactions range from sulking to full-blown tantrums. Because of this, I keep my distance. The day May was born was supposed to be Anna's wedding day. It was a beautiful ceremony, and Anna had asked me to be her bridesmaid. But when I found out I was pregnant, I had to ask her to find someone else to fill the role. I was about 3 months along at that point, and I didn't want to be a bridesmaid with a growing belly. I feared Anna would be upset, but to my surprise, she was nothing but supportive. She even offered to shift the wedding date to make sure I could attend, but we eventually agreed that wouldn't be necessary. During the pregnancy, I stayed in touch with Anna and Emma, and they supported me through the whole thing. The only person who seemed upset was Rachel. I think she was annoyed I couldn't be the maid of honor, but I understood. However, after I backed out, Rachel started antagonizing me for no apparent reason. I chalked it up to stress over the wedding, hormonal changes, and nerves, so I didn't pay it much mind. Fast forward to the wedding 2 weeks ago. At that point, I was heavily pregnant, swollen, and uncomfortable, but I still wanted to be there for Anna. I worried my presence might steal her spotlight, but Anna insisted I come. She made it clear the wedding was about family, and my being there meant a lot to her. Everything seemed fine until the ceremony began, and I started feeling uneasy. I went upstairs to rest, thinking I'd feel better. Little did I know, Rachel had followed me. My water broke in the bathroom, and I panicked. I asked Rachel to call Rick, but instead of helping me, she locked me in the bathroom and said she'd call him after the ceremony to avoid interrupting the wedding. In that moment, I felt utterly helpless. She refused to let me out, and I was stuck in the bathroom alone, in labor, with no phone and no way to contact Rick. I screamed for help, but no one could hear me. It wasn't until I passed out from exhaustion that I was eventually found and taken to the hospital. When I woke up, Rick was by my side, and he was crying. I was terrified, thinking the worst, but then he brought in our baby girl, May. It was the most relief I'd ever felt. Rick had been frantic when he found me, and he promised to press charges against Rachel for endangering both my life and May's. Rick's support meant everything to me. When he spoke to Rachel, he made it clear that her actions were unforgivable. He told her that he was pressing charges for life endangerment, and that she would no longer be involved in our daughter's life. She was not welcome as a grandmother, and he was cutting off all financial support to her. I felt a huge weight lifted when Rick stood by me. He's always had a complicated relationship with Rachel, but this was the first time I saw him put me and our family first. I was beyond grateful. The wedding continued, and later, Anna and Emma visited us at the hospital. They were supportive and happy to meet May, and Anna said that her day had been made complete with the birth of my daughter. I was overwhelmed with emotion and thanked Anna for her kindness and understanding. We shared a beautiful moment, and I felt closer to her than ever. As for Rachel, she didn't take the news well. She sent a crazy text accusing me of punishing her for being a mother and claiming that May had overshadowed Anna's wedding. It was all so bizarre. We had no intention of stealing the spotlight at all. It was clear Rachel was consumed by jealousy and insecurity. We've now cut ties with her completely. We have a restraining order in place, and though Rick considered pressing charges, we ultimately decided it wasn't worth the emotional toll. I convinced him that our focus should be on raising our daughter and not on dealing with Rachel's nonsense. A few weeks have passed, and things are much calmer. May is 8 weeks old now, and she's the light of our lives. Anna and Jonah have been wonderful, helping us with everything. Emma checks in daily, and we're all bonding over May's growth. As for Rachel, she's still sending disturbing texts, and we've blocked her. Emma has even gone as far as arranging for Rachel to be evaluated, as her behavior is erratic, but we've all agreed that we no longer want to deal with her toxicity. At the end of the day, May's safety and happiness come first, and that's all that matters now.